Lightning smirked. Consider that a warning. Either leave now or face an even bigger shock. And I suggest that you make your decision quickly, unless you want to take all three of us at once, said Chancellor Dingling. While he was still shocked at what Lightning Wing had just done, he knew the question would have to wait until after they got rid of these two. That's right, especially when one of those three is Princess Twilight's student. Starlight bragged a little bit of the green pixie powerful rubbing off of her. Slice and Dice's eyes went wide when he realized that this purple unicorn was one of the ponies that Darkclaw warned him about. Face it, you're outmatched and outnumbered, she said with a smile on her face, which quickly disappeared because of Darkclaw's evil chuckle. Do you honestly believe that, Fraulein? Darkclaw asked Starlight. Well, I did right up until you chuckled, Starlight said, sounding worried. I'll admit that the lightning's trick caught me off guard, but as you can see, he didn't do much damage to Herr Slice and Dice. Darkclaw said, pointing to the monster who was in chains. You look surprised. Or didn't you know that lightning doesn't affect pure metal? Excuse me a sec. Okay, give the villain credit. He's right. And you'll think that's anything else like that scares me? asked Lightning Wing. No, that's the job. Orcs! Darkclaw screamed, and then several orcs appeared around him and Slice and Dice. Yada yada yada. They recognize him. Blah 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 blah. What in the question are those things? Starlight asked. The very bad news, said Lightning Wing, looking terrified, his eyes becoming pinpricks. Well, scared as well you should be, one of the orcs said before cutting Slice and Dice free of his magical chains. No, orcs, Slice and Dice, please do me a small favor and destroy just the ponies, commanded Darkclaw. Oi, with pleasure, Slice and Dice said, leading the charge of orcs. Starlight threw her shield at two of the orcs, sending them flying, and then she blasted a few more with her magic. And then the orcs threw his axe at the mare, but she teleported before he could hit her. Chancellor Nace was jumping through his magical portals, blasting every orc he could. But despite all that, the orcs kept getting up and slicing out the magic like they were nothing. Meanwhile, Lightning Wing was doing a bit better. One of the orcs ran for Lightning Wing, but was knocked out by an uppercut by Lightning Wing before he could attack. Then another orc tried to swing his axe at Lightning Wing, who just countered with a spin kick, knocking it out. One orc tried to get him from behind, but Lightning Wing knocked him out without even looking. Unfortunately, he used his hurt hoof. Ow! That was a very bad idea. Yikes! He says he ducked to avoid what was taking his head off. He then rolled out of the way as three more axes tried to hit him. Unfortunately, doing so further injured his already injured ribs. The four orcs were about to attack, but Lightning Wing obliterated them with lightning bolts, this time coming from his tail. He then noticed that one of the orcs was about to attack Chancellor Pathetic from behind. Yo! Loser! Oh, why am I even bothered? Chancellor Nace, Chancellor, why is he even in this fic? Turned his head just in time to see Lightning Wing hit the orc with a flying kick. Thanks, I'll say the way. Only for that, but not for me, the monster said, swinging his chainsaw arm into two ponies. Luckily, Chancellor Polly, while he went back and pick up Sis Spoon, give a dog a bone, was able to teleport just before they could be cut into ribbons. After being teleported, Lightning Wing fell to the ground and held his ribs in pain. Are you okay? Are you okay? He asked. I'll be fine, he lied. We got bigger problems. I don't think magic works on these guys, he said, seeing Starlight firing her magic like a machine gun at the orcs and having little to no effect on them. Because of course, why not? Then Darkclaw laughed evilly. Very observant, Lightning. That's because the orcs are protected with, oh god, told you, magic resistant armor provided by yours truly. I get why it's here. I know it's there to make the orcs a little bit of a challenge, so the young six can do their job. I know all about that. I know that it's meant to get so that way Starlight doesn't, one shot everything here. I understand that. But you gotta understand, this is cliche. I want cliches. Every single one of these ficks that wants to make sure that their bad guys are super duper powerful are coated with magic resistant armor so that way their heroic characters can win. It's cheap. Are there ways to fix it? Well, you can always just say that they're a little more stronger than Starlight's magic. They're not exactly resistant. They can still take a little bit of damage, but it's not completely resistant. There! Solve the problem! Wait, if magic doesn't work, then what can we do? Starlight asked. Well, you could die, Slice and Dice said before hitting her with a chainsaw or right through her like she was a hologram. That was the illusion? Yep, a trick I learned from the great and powerful friend of mine. And my mare friend, said Starlight's voice, who then appeared from nowhere with a smile on her face and a horn glowing with immense magic. Antidolic! Screamed Lightning Wing before covering his head, while Chancellor Puddinghead made a magical force field to protect him. Starlight then blasted the monster with everything she had. Ugh, great merciful jelly beans. Darkclaw screamed in shock as he knew Starlight was strong, but he didn't know that she was that strong. Wow, Starlight's almost as strong. Commentary. Starlight was panting heavily. There, that takes care of. Starlight was interrupted by an evil laugh. Oi, you call that attack? I'll give you some credit, little pony. It's good at picking up dust, the monster said as the smoke cleared, revealing that he attacked didn't even scratch him. What's the matter? You look shocked, Starclaw said. There's no way. He couldn't have taken a blast like that, said Chancellor Bastian. Unless he has magic resistant armor too, Lightning said. Correct, Lightning. It's a shame you don't fight as well as you deserve. Oi, now let me show you all my attacks, Slice and Dice said as one of the chainsaw's arms started to glow blue aura. Take this! Chainsaw Beam! Dad! I know my attack calls, but god, dude! There's something bad with that! Come on, Slice and Dice, work with me on this! You could have a better attack name! A light blue beam and the saber of chainsaw fired at Starlight. Starlight tried to make a magic shield to protect herself, but the chainsaw beam broke the magic shield, sending her flying. Starlight. Chancellor Jaden screamed. Let's glimmer! Lightning screamed. Starlight landed hard on her head, knocking her out cold. Oh, you okay? Snickerdoodle, and Lightning said at the same time. Oi, do something worrying about yourselves, the monster said before blasting him with another chainsaw beam. Chancellor Salisbury Steak tried to teleport him out of the way, but wasn't fast enough, and he was flying right in front of Starlight. Darkclaw liked this. Done here, Slice and Dice. Now to here's some more so we can finish our mission. Oi, with pleasure, Slice and Dice said, approaching the three hurt ponies. I lost words. Lightning Wing stood up and spread his wings in front of Starlight and Chancellor Gundrop to protect him. Lightning Wing closed his eyes, ready for the pain. Then he heard a small clink. Wasn't aware that death came with a clink. Realized he hadn't felt anything. Lightning Wing opened his eyes. He stood up to see that the monster was just as confused as he was. Slice and Dice's chainsaw arm swept down again. Lightning kept his eyes open this time. And once the Satan caused a Slice and Dice's chainsaw arm hit something. A transparent bubble flickered around the three of them. Slice and Dice's chainsaw arm bouncing off harmlessly. Lightning Wing breathed a sigh of relief. Wow. Talk about saving the last minute. Thanks. He then looked at the two unicorns and was confused that neither of them their hearts were glowing. Wait a minute. Well, you didn't like this magic bubble. Who did? The young six all looked at Silverblade as he held his hand, which was glowing in a white aura. That shield won't hold for long. Let me guess, you want us to go out and fight these guys, right? Gallus asked, not wanting to do so. I don't want you to, but yes, you're right. Ghost Knight said in a sympathetic tone. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do it. But in case you forgot, we got our butts into us last time, and we were barely able to beat those orcs, and we are not warriors. Gallus screamed into Silverblade's face. Yes, I know, Gallus. This time's gonna be different. Let the meeting begin! Johnson gently set Griffin down, surprisingly, seemed unaffected by Gallus' screaming in his face. Hawkins said, putting a hoof on Gallus' shoulder. You'll have these. Johnson said, I'm sorry, Silverblade said. Then 6 magic swords appeared in front of them. Magic swords again? Yes, but this time you'll unlock their true power. You will be in complete control and you will be able to stop Dark Claw and his monster. As he spoke, something strange was happening to the 6 magic swords. The blades were shrinking until the blades were completely gone. Then the sword grips turned to gold. A red button appeared in the middle of the sword grips. How toyetic can you get? Finally, a wrist mount came from the back of the golden grips. What are those things? Those are your sword morphers. Now available in 1999 at your nearest Walmart. Sword what? Swordstream asked, tilting her head in confusion. I'll explain you later. The point is that these have been given great power, and responsibility to protect the world from the evil of the Dark One. Gallus was about to say something, but Silverblade put up his hand, and Gallus respectfully kept quiet. I know this is a lot to take in, but I know that none of you chose this path. I know some of you would not want to fight a battle with such stakes, but neither did I or my team. Silverblade said in a sorrowful tone, your lives are about to change forever, but I will be here every step of the way to help you, guide you, and to teach you. Now you are going to save the world, or you're going to run away from your destiny. Run away! Gallus gave it some thought. Then he heard a clank and looked back at the transparent bubble that the monster was trying to break through, cracking. Whoever made this force field? I don't think it's going to hold much longer, Lightning Wing said in a panicked tone. Gallus looked serious. All right, I'll do it, he said. Well, if you're going to do it, so will I, Silverstream said. That goes double for me. Yucks, never let an even fate, Yona said proudly. If that means I get another chance to burn some orcs, then I'm in too, Smolder said while retracting her claws. I always wanted to be a hero. Guess this is my chance, Sandbar said with a smile. The Ghost Knight nodded. I'm glad to hear that. He said they gave the young six their sword morphers, while they strapped each to their wrists. Oh, I love wrist morphers. All right, guys, let's go. Gallus said, about to run out to help Starlight and the others. Wait, Johnson Silverblade said before summoning the same giant blue light shield that smashed into the week ago. Ironically, Gallus wanted to smash into it again. Oops, sorry about that, Gallus. But we can't have the Dark One know who you are. He then snapped his fingers. The young six were outfitted with chainmail armor. Skipping the pictures! Ooh, cool outfits, Silverstream said in a silent tone. Yeah, but what are these for? To hide your identities. But why would we? Before Oculus could finish, I heard even a louder clink. Looked back at the transparent power bubble before it had more cracks in it. There's no time to go. No time. Go. Call your powers by saying nice defenders. Nice forever. The young 6'9" ran off. Really? Is that our Henson phrase? Okay, look, guys, I can understand you working with a little bit of a budget here. Here's $5. Go get a better Henson phrase. Do you think you can do it? It'll take a miracle. And slicing dice was slicing as hard as he could through the force field. All's soon, us, I break through you three, all so dead. Are you sure you don't want to have a sports strike first? You sound like you could use one. Good idea. Here you go, here, slice and dice. Dark Claw said, making a sports streak appear from nowhere and giving it to the monster. Ha! Great. Now he'll be fully hydrated before he chops us into pieces. Thanks, Lightning Wing. Chancellor Terry Cordial said in a deadpan tone. Well, I'm sorry if I have a bad idea. I happen to make bad jokes on tense situations. Well, I'll make sure to put it on your tombstone. Now, before my associate finishes you off, do you have any last words? Darklaw said while slowly scratching the force field with his razor-sharp fingers. Yeah, you want to hurt those points, you have to go through us. What? How's he set it up without your lips moving? Asked Slice and Dice. He didn't. I did, said the same voice. Darklaw, Slice and Dice, and the 2 ponies looked up to see 6 figures standing on top of the castle of 2 sisters, with the sun behind them reflecting out their medieval chainmail outfits. Who are they? Oh, I can't tell, Darklaw said, narrowing his eyes. Ready? Ready! Nice defenders! Nice forever! They all said at the same time to push the red button on their sword morphers. Is that really you guys' instant phrase? Look, here's 5 extra bucks. So why don't you guys go and get a new one and maybe get me a dual disc? Oh no, we're not about to just go on and do a Control C and Control V of their more sequences and do that repeatedly, are we? Yep, we are. Okay, I'm just going to read Gallus's and then just give you guys the colors. Protection of a red knight appeared in front of him. Then some swords circled around the protection of Red Knight and Gallus. Then circling the swords, the protection of Red Knight came together in Gallus. Arms and legs were covered by green chainmail armor. With red Power Ranger clothes at the end of his claws, the sword mower being on his left wrist, and a red boots on his feet. Then his body was covered by a red warrior's knight's crest armor. Then an open knight helmet opened from the sky and landed on Gallus before closing. His helmet was red, white, while showing parts of a rock's head. Small lines on the back of the visor. Finally, twin swords appear in both hands and cross them together with an X. Okay, Gallus is red. Sandbar is orange and has a staff. Silverstream is pink and has, of course, a bow and arrow because, sooner or later on the Sentai, a bow and arrow has to be shown. Hyona is yellow with a warhammer. Smolder is black with a spike chain mace. Oculus is blue, and she has a medieval fan, which is a very original weapon. There, we don't have to control Z. You could just describe us once and be done. The young Sixth flipped off the castle of the 2 sisters and did a superhero landing with weapons in hand. Power Rangers! Darklaw the monster and Orc screamed at the same time, both of them completely in shock. No way, Lightning Wing said, and completely in awe, while Chancellor Hippopotamus's jaw was almost to the floor. No, it can't be. I destroyed them. There's no way they could be alive, screamed the silhouetted goat as he watched this all unfold thanks to the IRMS Pete. What is this? Oculus asked, looking at the suit he was wearing. This is incredible. We've become superheroes, said Sandbar. This was a dream come true for him. I feel invincible, Smolder said while doing a fist pump. You can never feel so powerful, Hyona said, picking up a warhammer with one hand. Amazing how powerful she was now. Well, I mean, compared to a common rider, this ain't nothing. This is like the coolest thing that's ever happened in my life, Silverstream said as soon as he was checking out every detail of her suit. All right, some awesome suits and sweet weapons, Gal said, holding up his 2 swords. And by the expression of your faces, I say you know how this is going to end. So why don't you just run back to your master goat before we kick your butt 6 ways to Sunday? Gal said while bluffing. Even though they had become incredibly powerful, he still wasn't entirely sure they could beat the orcs, let alone slice and dice. That's a very good ultimatum. Here's mine. Orcs either die to the Power Rangers or die to the Master for following him, said Darklaw, not wanting to fight the Power Rangers or anyone himself. The orcs, having no choice, charged at the Power Rangers. All right, you asked for it, Smolder said, and then launched her spiked chain mace into the face of one of the charging orcs. Then when it came back to her, she launched it again, this time right into York's chest, and went right through it. York gasped for air before turning to dust. Whoa! The Black Ranger said, both surprised at the fact that the orc had just turned to dust, and the fact that an axe that one of the orcs was coming right at her. She was able to dodge out of the way and launched her spiked chain mace for the third time. This time it wrapped around the orc who tried to throw the axe at her, but Spulzer then pulled this tied up orc and punched it. And then released it, which caused him to spin around like a tornado, then finished him off by launching her spiked chain mace before crashing into the orc, obliterating it and leaving it behind a small crater. Ladies and gentlemen, this fic is officially an advertisement for beta readers. They can help you with your problems. It's okay. Really. Under bat, as she pulled her spiked chain mace, and saw that it was smoking, literally. Wow, I am loving this thing, said the Black Ranger. Oh, I love my nuts even more, Nork said, swinging his right at the dragon. It looked like the axe was stopped in its tracks by a can staff. What's a can staff? Okay, so I couldn't find anything on can staff, so I'm just gonna guess it's either cane staff or it's a pole arm. Orange Razor then kicked the orc right in between the legs, causing the orc an incredible amount of pain. Normally, I wouldn't fight dirty, but in this case, I will make an exception, Sandbar said before smacking the orc in the face with his pole arm, knocking his armored helmet off his head. Hey, why didn't you turn to dust? Asked Orange Ranger. Bunny has to hit orcs harder like this, said Yak Yellow Ranger. I think we know the Yellow Ranger. Just stick with the colors. The orc looked to see her coming up from the air, warhammer in hand, ready to smash. Oh, this is going to hurt, said the orc before being crushed by the warhammer, then turned to dust. See what the yak tells you? Thanks, Yana. You might want to hold on to that. Thanks, because we have more company. The Dragon Black Ranger says Yona and Sandbar noticed that they were surrounded by more orcs. Orcs attacked from all directions. Luckily, the three rangers were able to fight them all off with martial arts. Smolder was able to knock one out with a reverse punch, followed up by a roundhouse kick to the other one. Sandbar was blocking attacks with six orcs at once with his polearm. Okay, I think I have about enough of these guys, he said, then planted his polearm to the ground, jumped and spun around while kicking the six orcs in the face. Then another orc tried hitting him with his axe, but the orange ranger was able to knock it out by doing a backflip with his polearm. Sweet Celestia, when did you learn to do that? I have no idea, he said. He never took a martial arts class in his life. One of the orcs was about to attack Smolder, but was headbutted by Yellow Ranger. That's Yakuza's mother, she said with pride. Then the three rangers continued to face off with the remaining orcs who surrounded him. Meanwhile, Oculus was trying not to fight three orcs that were attacking her. Even if they were evil, she didn't want to hurt them, being the gentle creature she was. Look, I think we got off on the wrong cliff, she yelled, dodging an axe for her speed. Maybe we can talk about this? She then yelled while dodging another axe that would have taken off her head. Please, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight me either. Simply Ranger trying to reason with them. That's funny, because we don't want to talk. All we want to do is fight. So one of the orcs swinging his axe at the Blue Rangers, Akos instinctively used her medieval fan, creating a strong wind to push the orcs back a few feet. Hi, red, white, black, pink, orange, yellow, blue. You guys can please stop fighting for a second to help us. I need to get Miss Glimmer to a hospital. Lightning Wing yelled while banging on the transparent bubble, trying to get their attention. Starlo was still knocked out and hurt badly. Do you think it should be continuing battling on that force field? Right on cue, the transparent bubble shattered. Sadly, Sadly, the words of God were not heard. Oops. Perfect. Not that the force field is gone, you three are dead, said an orc woman as down at him. Lightning was about to stab it with some lightning. But before he could do that, Oculus used her speed to get in front of him. He used her medieval fan of the orc, sending him flying into the air. Oh, and the orc is going, gone, Lightning Wing said, sounding like a baseball announcer. You guys get him and Starlight to the castle. We'll handle this, said the Blue Ranger, using her medieval fan to send some orcs back a few feet. What you got, mysterious blue heroine? Lightning Wing said, saluting her with his left wing, before he and Chancellor Hippopotamus Best Bottom got into a castle while Oculus fought the orcs, only in self-defense. I should hope it's in self-defense! Alright, now let's get Miss Glimmer to a hospital, Lightning Wing said to Chancellor Hersey Kisses. No, not yet. Well, are you crazy? She needs medical attention. And what about Sunburst, Mr. Lightning, and the missing students? You want to leave them behind? Asked Reese's Cup. Okay, you go find them. I'll keep an eye on Miss Glimmer, Lightning Wing said. Chancellor Nate used his medallion to make a portal, attempt to take him somewhere inside the castle. Now, hopefully, would be where Sunburst, Mr. Knightley, and the missing students were. Meanwhile, Silverstream was fighting the orcs with her bow, but not doing a good job. She needed some help. Silverstream, can I ask you a question? Oscillus asked, coming to help her friend. What is it? Asked the Pink Ranger as he smacked one of the orcs with her bow. Haven't you fired that arrow yet? Asked the Blue Ranger as he dropped to kick one of the orcs. 3 good reasons. 1, I don't know how to use a bow and arrow. 2, I'm pretty sure you need space to use a bow and arrow, which is something I don't have right now. And 3, this is the only arrow I have. What? More multiple arrows don't come up automatically? Silverstream said, she and Oculus fought out the orcs as best he could. One of the orcs swung his axe right at the Pink Ranger, who crossed her arms to protect herself. A large bubble of water surrounded Oculus and Silverstream that stopped the axe in its tracks. Confused by this, he and the other orcs tried to cut through the water shield with their axes, but couldn't penetrate it. How are you doing this? I don't know, but I don't think this water shield will hold forever, Silverstream said. Her voice sounded filtered in the wire. Don't worry about that. I have an idea. The Blue Ranger said. They used her medieval fan to cause a strong wind, causing all the water to smack into the orcs, crashing them in a tree. Not going to read the summary. Horses were coughing after the water wind attack. Do you really think water's going to stop us? Asked one of the soak orcs. No, but this might, Silverstream said, aiming her bow and arrow and firing it. But I didn't hit any of the orcs. Huh, you miss! What's it aiming at you? Then the soak orcs looked up to see that the arrow had hit the large branch of the tree they were directly under. Then the large branch broke off and fell to the orcs, turning into dust. Oh yeah, how do you like that, dust orcs? Dust orcs? Yeah, the orcs are made out of dust, and they turn back into dust when you beat them. Therefore, dust orcs. The Pink Ranger explained while smiling at her helmet. Well, that's the case. I won't feel bad about doing this, said Gallus after using one of the twin swords to cut an orc in half while stabbing another orc with his other twin sword, turning into dust. Then Gallus joined Oculus and Silverstream to help Yona, Smolder, and Sandbar take out the rest of the orcs. You know, despite the world being in peril of these freaks, this is a cool field trip I've been on, said Ranger, slicing an orc. I agree, said Black Ranger, taking out several orcs with her spiked chain mace. Yeah, becoming superheroes, kicking bad guy butt, saving the world is a dream come true, said Aura Razor, spinning around and hitting several orcs, turning them into dust. Yuck, Achilles and Pony. Yuck's enough to smash bad guys, said the Yellow Ranger, smashing her warhammer into the ground with such force it sent several orcs flying up into the air, and all crashed down to the ground, turning into dust. Personally, I'm loving this fan, Blue Ranger said, throwing her medieval fan, causing it to spin around in a circle, hitting several orcs in the face, knocking them into the ground, turning them to dust before Oculus caught the medieval fan in her hand. She was loving it even more, knowing that she was not hurting anybody. Dust creatures made out of dust. Just loving my new powers, said the Pink Ranger, crossing her arms to protect herself. Then another large bubble of the air surrounded her. Eat my splash attack, she said, extending her arms wide, causing the water bubble to explode, hit several orcs in all directions, landing hard and turning into dust. Several orcs swung their axes at Red Ranger. Luckily, he was able to block their attacks with his twin swords. They pushed their axes back and spun around, slashing the 6 remaining orcs, then turning into dust and fencing out the orcs. Except for one who was scared before, and the handle and belly of his axe fell apart from the slashes of twin swords, along with parts of his armor and helmet. His expression turned from scared to terrified. Boo! Gal said to the orc, causing him to run away. But he didn't get far because he was struck by a bolt of lightning. Power Rangers led back into the castle of the 2 sisters to see it came from the tip of one of Lightning's feathers. The Green Pegasus was still keeping an eye on Starlight while watching all this unfold through one of the windows. Sorry, but it's not a good idea to leave any stragglers, he said. Noted, Gallus said. Then the other 2 Rangers looked at Darklaw and Slice and Dice. Both looked scared. Alright, you two, I'm only going to say this one time. Run back to your master, Goat, before we kick your butts. Unless you want to end up like your Death Swords, Gallus said. I wasn't bluffing this time. He was sure he could take this monster, and he could tell the Dark Order Claw wasn't a fighter. He was a lover. Boy, oh, cool with running away. Running away sounds good. What? Who says running away? Boy, you said I'll be taking all points. Never said anything about Power Rangers. Power what? Silverstein said. Wow, that sounds like a big bad monster. This does a big bad chicken, said Smolder. What does he call me? Slice and Dice said, sounding angry. Dark Claw took out a mischievous grin on his face. Congratulations. Well, I called you a chicken, also known as a weakling, scaredy cat, or get up there. I'll say you lost what? Chainsaw! Slash! A blue beam and steep of a chainsaw fired at the Power Rangers, sending them flying backwards. You just had to get him angry, didn't you? Gal said Smolder. Hey, not my fault. Look out! Smolder says, seeing Gal spells the monster's chainsaw arms. Oh, I wish I had some more arrows, the Pink Ranger said, as some wire appeared in her hand and turned 3 arrows. Well, that's convenient. She said, fired her arrows at Slice of Dice, but Slice of Dice cut the arrows in half before they hit them. Uh-oh. The monster started to go after Silverstream, but then one of his chainsaw arms was wrapped up behind him, and Black Ranger's spike chain called Mace. You leave her alone, said Smolder. Good point. Let's you all won't anyway, the monster said. Using his strength to pick Smolder up with his wrapped chainsaw arm, slam her hard into the ground while still holding Chain Mace. Take up the bait to this, you monster! Said the Orange Ranger, hitting Slice of Dice with his cane with his pole arm, but no effect on him. What was that? Well, it worked on the Orcs, Sandbar said, laughing nervously. Also, this will work on the Orc as well, Slice of Dice said, grabbing Yar's Razor by the throat, choking and slamming it into the ground. Oh, that's got hurt, Lightning Wing said with a cringe. Our monster could fit Sandbar off. Silverstream got in front of him once again, crossing her arms to protect herself, and another large wire bubble surrounding both of them. We all like a little wall's gonna stop by, he asked before slashing at the bubble wire. And only breaking through was also hitting both Silverstream and Sandbar. Atlas tried to use her speed to attack the monster, but saw it coming. I saw flame! Light blue beam and the Zebra chainsaw fired the Blue Ranger, blasting her flying hard. Enough for that Black Ranger. Spencer Chopper was armed, but stopped by Red Ranger's twin swords. You want to my friends? You had to go through me, Dallas said. Well, bless up, said the monster. The two of them battling out like it was a double sword fight. So it's like the Dice's case, it was instead of two swords, it was, oh, come on, we can figure it out! We know how metaphors work! And I was getting the upper half until Slice and Dice cut Gallus in the chest. All right, let's see how you handle this, Power Ranger. Slice and Dice said, both his chainsaw arms starting to glow bright blue aura. Like this! Chainsaw! Slash! Two bright blue beams and super chainsaws fired the Red Ranger. See, Gallus caused his twin swords of carrying an axe and tried to protect himself. He's too strong! Red Ranger was just barely able to hold the chainsaw beams back. Most of them starting to press back. Let's yes, I said, sort of doing no friends. I just made a vomiting is next, said Darklaw. He and the monster laughing evilly. No, I can't let this happen. You will not hurt my friends! Psychosis, his eyes went white. He was able to use the twin swords to throw two chainsaw beams back at Slice and Dice. And Animes, but nope. I'm not gonna let Micah get away with this. I'm sure as heck not getting this freak get away with. Oh, I'm just gonna describe an anime sequence and hope everybody here knows about it. Holy crap, baskets. Monster yelled before the chainsaw beats hit him. Monster crashed a large rock, severely damaging him. It's Slice and Dice! Darklaw said, running to a monster. Declared to the Red Razor. He said, make a small black portal so they can retreat for now.